my adorable friends, and welcome to another math video. All right, today we are going to be working in our Bridges Home Connections book. So go ahead and hit pause, grab your book, grab your pencil, and come on back when you're ready. All right, if you're back with me, that tells me you have your book and your pencil and you are ready to rock and roll. Before we begin, we are going to work on our counting just because I think it's super important that we keep practicing this so we get better and better and better at counting forward and backwards, skip counting by 2s, 5s, and 10s. And the more we practice, the easier it gets, the easier it gets, the easier math gets, all the things get easier. All right? First thing we're going to do is count by ones from 0 to 20 up the number line, and then we'll count down the number line so we're practicing our addition and our subtraction. Then we'll count by 2s, 5s, and 10s. Ready? Count with me out loud at home, starting at 0. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Awesome job. Now we're going to start at 20 and we're going to count down the number line all the way to 0. This is tricky and I know some of us are still having a hard time, so make sure you're saying these numbers out loud with me. Ready? Starting at 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Awesome. Now what we're going to do is we're going to skip count by 2s from 0 all the way up to 50. That way we're practicing saying the numbers out loud and we're hearing the pattern. Ready? Starting at 0. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 32, 34, 36, 38, 40, 42, 44, 46, 48, 50. Awesome job, my friends. Now we're going to skip count by 5s from 0 to 100. Ready? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90, 95, 100. Awesome job. Now last thing we're going to do is skip count by 10s, starting from 0 all the way to 100. So pretending there's a 0 right here. Count with me. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Awesome job, my friends. Thanks for counting with me. Now that our brains are nice and warmed up, next thing we're going to talk about before we open up our Home Connections book is how to solve math equations when we are missing numbers in those equations. We worked on this a little bit last week. Some of us, smooth sailing, easy peasy. Some of us, this is still really tricky. So I want to work on this a little bit together now, and our worksheet in our Home Connections book is going to help us practice as well. So in today's book, we're going to have all kinds of different math problems, and so let's practice a few of them today. So we're going to pretend we have some dominoes. And on this domino, we have some dots. And if you add up all these dots total, they equal 6. Let's make sure that's right. Count with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay? But we don't always want to have to add up dots and count dots, right? We want to be able to see the numbers in the equation and do the math in our super smart brains. So how many dots do we see on our top domino? 4. Good. So that would be our missing number at the top of the equation. How many dots do we have on the bottom domino? 2. So that would be the second number of our equation. So our equation would read 4 plus 2 equals 6. What if we have an equation like this? Oops, and I forgot to write the total here. And I have 3, 1, 2, 3, plus some unknown number equals 7. Well, last week when we did this, we didn't have pictures, right? And I think that's what confused some of us. And some of us were adding the 3 plus 7 and putting a number here. But that's not right. I want to know 3 plus what equals 7. So that's where the dominoes help us figure that out. So we have 3 dots on top. How many dots do we have on bottom? 1, 2, 3, 4. So 3 plus 4 equals 7. So when we see that, whether we have a picture or not, if we have a box here and the total down here, we're not adding this number and this number. Nope. We have to know what number goes here that we want to add to the number that we already have in our equation to give us the total. Okay, friends? Last thing we're going to do, let's turn it over. There are also going to be some problems in today's worksheet where there are no dots and no numbers, just the total of the equation. This is where we have to think about what numbers make up a whole number. So what 2 numbers can we add together to get to 4? Well, let's talk about it. Let's draw out some dots. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's stop. So if we have 4 up top, we would write 4 plus 0 equals 4, right? That's easy enough. What if, let's erase this. What if we say 1, 2, 3, 4? Okay, so we have 2 on top and 2 on the bottom. 2 plus 2 equals 4. Any of those are acceptable. We could also have 3 plus 1. Or what about our fact families? Could we have 1 plus 3? Same thing. Okay? Or we could have had 0 plus 4, and that would still equal 4. So we're practicing what numbers we can add together to give us the total number, and we're thinking about those fact families. Let's try one more. So I have a blank domino, blank equation, except I know my total has to be 6. So let's think about that. Let's count out some dots. Ready? 1, 2, 3. I'm going to stop and I'm going to come down to my next domino. So 3, 4, 5, 6. Whoop, I'm going to stop. I'm at my 6. So how many would I have on top? 3. How many do I have on bottom? 3. So 3 plus 3 equals 6. What if it's not 3 plus 3? What if, this is Sae-Wong, not doing a very good job erasing today. What if I have 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm going to stop and I'm going to keep going, 5, 6. Whoop, okay, I'm at my 6. So how many do I have on top? Good, I have 4. How many do I have on bottom? 2. So 4 plus 2 equals 6. But knowing our fact families, could I switch that? Could I have 2 on top and 4 on bottom and still equal 6? I sure can. Okay, so let's open up our Home Connections book. Let's go through a couple problems together to make sure you're ready to rock and roll, and then let's see if this is making sense to everybody. Open up your book to page 113. 113. 113. Hit pause if you need a minute to find it. I will give you a little bit of time. All right, if you need more time, just hit pause, friends. Otherwise, let's figure out what is first. First things first. First, we have to stop and put our name at the top. I put my name, you put your name. Today's date is 4-19-21. All right, so we have some dominoes just like we did on our practice sheet. So for the first section, you're going to take the number of dots on the top of the domino and the number of dots on the bottom of the domino to finish that equation. So how many are on top? 1, 2, 3. So you're going to give me a 3 right there. How many are on bottom? 1, 2, 3, 4. So you're going to give me a 4 right there. 3 plus 4 equals 7. Go ahead and hit pause and finish filling out all of the equations in that top row. Okay, if you're back with me, that tells me you're all done with the problems in number 1. Number 2, it says fill in the missing dots and numbers to complete the addition facts. So, some of our dominoes are missing dots, but they need them. So you're going to color in how many dots are on the top or the bottom, and then you're going to complete that equation. So let's do this first one together. So this first equation tells us we have 2 on top, so we need to fill that in. 1, 2. But then it's asking us how many dots are on the bottom. Well, count with me. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to put a 4 in my box. So now I've completed my domino and I have completed my equation. Go ahead and hit pause, finish filling in all of either the dots or the equation, the numbers in the equation I should say, and come back when you're ready. Okay, if you're back with me, that tells me you're all done with all the problems in number 2. Now, number 3. It says, make up your own combinations for these numbers. Fill in the dots and numbers. So, the very first equation says we have 10. So let's think about how we can make 10. Count with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, I'm going to stop because my domino's full, but I'm only at 6. I need to keep going until 10. So let's move down to the bottom domino. Starting at 6. 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, okay, I'm at my 10. I'm going to stop. How many dots do I have on top? Count with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So what number is going on the top of my equation? Good, we're going to put a 6 right there. So if I have a 6 on top, what number goes on the bottom of my equation? Count with me. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to add a 4. 6 plus 4 equals 10. Is that right? It sure is. So now what I want you to do is for the next 3, give me the dots on our dominoes and complete the equations for the total of 9, 5, and 7. Hit pause, work on those 3, and come back when you're ready. Okay, if you're back with me, that tells me you are all done with these 3. Now we're going to move down to section 4. Here we are practicing our skip counting by 2. So let's go ahead and get our number line in the picture. So for number 4A, we're going to skip count by 2s. So we have 22, 24, 26. What comes next? So we're at 22, 24, 26. And then what are the next 3 numbers when we're skip counting by 2? Hit pause, fill that in, come back when you're ready. Okay, if you're back with me, that tells me you're done with A. Now let's talk about B. We have 27, 29, 31. Well, that doesn't really sound like the skip counting by 2s we've been practicing. But these numbers are still going up by 2. So if we're at 27, and then we have 1, 2, we land at 29. 1, 2, we land at 31. So now you're going to use this number line to jump up 2 more. 1, 2, what's our next number? You're right, 33. So 33 is going to go right here. Now from 33, I want you to skip count 2 more. And then after that, 2 more, and finish filling in these last 2 numbers. Hit pause, work on B, come back when you're ready. Okay, if you're back with me, that tells me you're all done with B. Now for C, we are going to skip count down by 2. So it has us starting at 19. So we're going to come over here to 19 and skip count down by 2. 1, 2, lands us at 17. 1, 2, 15, 1, 2, you're right, 13, 1, 2, 11, and then skip count by 2, down by 2 more, and give me that last number. Okay, finally, let's move to D. We're still skip counting down by 2. So this time we're starting at 43. Here's our 43. 1, 2, down to 41. 1, 2, and fill in the next 2 skip counting, the next 2 numbers we come across when we're skip counting down by 2s, starting at 43. This should be easy peasy. This should be very familiar too. We've been going up and down these number lines. Hopefully, we know what we're doing. We're filling in the blanks. Okay, if you're back with me, though, that tells me you're all done. If you have questions, though, or if you're confused, if this is not making sense, make sure you let me know during our class meeting. But I want to see that you have tried to fill in some of these blanks, okay? I want to see that you have tried to find the answers. But if you're stuck or if you're confused, I'm absolutely happy to help. Just let me know and we can talk about it. And that's it, my friends. When you are all done, head over to Seesaw. Send me a picture of page 113 so I can see your awesome math thinking. And I will see you later in our other videos and in our meetings. Bye, friends.